Rain battered the windshield of Edward Carson's sleek black sedan as he sped along the desolate road hugging Mirror Lake. The night was bitter, the kind that chilled you to the bone, but Edward's face was stone cold, his jaw tight. His leather-gloved hands gripped the wheel like a man possessed. In the back seat, swaddled in a soft lavender blanket, lay his newborn daughter, barely 3 days old. A girl. He spat under his breath, the word dripping with venom. All this for a damn girl. Edward was no ordinary man. Carson Industries towered over the city, a monument to his cutthroat ambition. He'd clawed his way to millions, dreaming of a son to carry his name, his empire. When his wife, Claire, gave birth to a daughter, it was like a slap in the face. Claire, still weak in her hospital bed, had murmured, "We could try again, Edward." But Edward didn't have time for second chances. In his warped mind, this child was a flaw, a mistake to be erased. He pulled over by the lake, the rain hammering the roof of his car. Stepping into the storm, he opened the back door and lifted the tiny bundle. For a split second, the baby's eyes fluttered open deep green, like her mother's, staring right into him. She didn't cry, just watched him, innocent and curious. Edward's heart flickered, but he crushed the feeling. With a cold, deliberate toss, he threw the bundle into the dark waters of Mirror Lake. The ripples swallowed her, and he turned away, sliding back into his car. "It's done," he told himself, the windshield wipers sweeping away the night. Now we start over. What Edward didn't see was the couple huddled under a nearby bridge, seeking shelter from the storm. Emma and Jack Harper had frozen, horrified, as they watched the unthinkable. "My God," Emma whispered, her voice breaking as she bolted toward the lake. Jack was already moving, plunging into the icy water. Seconds stretched into eternity as Emma stood at the edge, her breath caught in her throat. Then Jack surfaced, gasping, one arm clutching the lavender bundle. "She's alive," he shouted, swimming back. Emma tore off her coat, wrapping the soaked baby tight. The little girl coughed, sputtered, then took a shaky breath. "We have to call the cops," Jack said, fumbling for his phone. Emma stared at the baby's fragile face, then at the fading taillights of Edward's car. "And say what? That a man rich enough to own half this town threw his kid in the lake? They'll bury us, Jack." He knew she was right. In their small town, money was louder than truth. "So what do we do?" he asked, voice low. Emma's arms tightened around the baby. "We've prayed for a child for years. Maybe this is our answer." Jack looked at his wife, then at the tiny miracle in her arms. He nodded slowly. "We leave tonight. Start fresh." Emma's eyes glistened. "We'll call her Lily, because she's our light." 27 years slipped by. Edward Carson's empire had only grown, his name synonymous with power. He'd gotten his son, James, after Claire's grief over their lost daughter tore them apart. Edward remarried, and his new wife gave him the air he craved. Now in his 60s, he sat in his penthouse office, the city sprawling beneath him. The night at Mirror Lake was a ghost he'd buried long ago. But across town, in the chambers of Judge Lily Harper, that ghost was about to rise. Lily adjusted her black robes, her heart steady, but her mind racing. She'd worked relentlessly to get here, fueled by the truth Emma and Jack had shared when she turned 18. How they'd saved her from a lake, from a father who wanted her dead. The revelation had shattered her, but also forged her. Lily had poured her pain into purpose, graduating top of her law school and climbing the ranks of the justice system. Now, fate had dealt her a card she couldn't ignore, Edward Carson's case. Edward was being sued for fraud and dangerous working conditions, a case no one thought he'd lose. Lily had dug deeper, hiring a private investigator who uncovered medical records tying her rare blood type to Claire and Edward, plus hospital footage of Edward Leah vying with a baby the night before he reported his daughter's death. She had the proof, but had waited for this moment. As her assistant knocked, saying the Carson case is up, Lily's pulse quickened. This was her chance. Edward strode into the courtroom, his tailored suit screaming wealth, his lawyers buzzing around him. He barely glanced at the judge's bench, confident as ever. All rise for the Honorable Judge Lily Harper, the bailiff called. Edward stood, finally looking up as Lily entered. Something in her face, those green eyes, made his stomach twist. Lily met his gaze, her voice calm but piercing. Mr. Carson, this court values justice over money. Let's begin. The trial unfolded with Lily's meticulous fairness, but Edward squirmed under her steady stare. On the fifth day, she called a recess and summoned both attorneys. I have a disclosure, she said, her eyes locked on Edward. I considered stepping down, but precedent allows me to stay. Edward's lawyer frowned. What's this about, Your Honor? Lily's voice was steel. 27 years ago, Mr. Carson reported his daughter's death. I have evidence that was a lie. Edward's face drained of color. This is absurd, he snapped. Lily didn't flinch. No, Mr. Carson. This morning, I filed evidence with the DA for attempted murder, child abandonment, and falsifying records. The courtroom went silent. Edward stared at Lily, those green eyes burning into him. You, he whispered, the truth crashing down. Yes, Lily said. The daughter you threw in a mirror lake because I wasn't the son you wanted. His lawyer grabbed his arm, hissing, saying nothing. But Edward was frozen, trapped by the daughter he discarded. How did you survive? He stammered. Lily's face stayed composed. A miracle. A couple who saw your crimes saved me, raised me, taught me justice always finds a way. The story exploded. Edward Carson, titan of industry, charged with trying to kill his own daughter, now the judge in his fraud case. His company crumbled as shareholders fled. James, his son, publicly disowned him. Claire, seeing Lily on the news, came forward. A DNA test confirmed she was Lily's mother. Their reunion was quiet but profound, a balm for years of pain. Claire had never believed her daughter died naturally, but lacked proof. Now, she had Lily. Edward's empire unraveled. The fraud case exposed decades of corruption, and another judge convicted him. On the day of his sentencing for attempted murder, Lily sat in the courtroom, not as a judge, but as a witness to justice. Edward, looking broken, turned to her. I'm sorry, he mumbled. I don't expect forgiveness. Lily stood tall. This isn't about forgiveness, Mr. Carson. It's about justice, something every child deserves, boy or girl. As Edward was led away to serve 15 years, Lily stepped outside into the sunlight. Claire waited, smiling. Ready to go home? She asked, linking arms with her daughter. Lily nodded, a weight lifting. Yeah, I'm ready. They walked down the courthouse steps, Leah vying the past behind. Lily had turned her pain into power, proof that Sir vying isn't enough. 3 vying is the real VY Tory. Somewhere, Emma and Jack watched over her, proud of the light they'd saved. What do you think? Should Lily have forgiven Edward, or was her pursuit of justice the only path? Could Claire have done more to uncover the truth sooner? And what about Emma and Jack, heroes, or VY Jelani for keeping Lily's Sir VY Val secret? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories that'll keep you talking.